Disclosure Day is directed by the one and only Steven Spielberg. I mean, this man is no stranger to the sci-fi genre. He has given us some amazing movies. However, the real question that this movie has to answer is Spielberg back? Can he bring back his old flair? Or is he going to be the next Ridley Scott? Let's disclose this movie and find out. Now, it is important to understand the kind of movie this is. It's not your typical cliched alien movie where the mothership is destroying Earth and the laser beams flying around and aliens are fighting humans. No, that's not what they're going for here. It's a more complex, grounded, and a thematic take on the genre. But that doesn't mean that it is all sad and there's no real, all dull and there's no real action movements. No, there are some interesting action scenes. There are interesting chase sequences, and there is one involving a train, which is quite interesting. However, don't expect that to be the focus of this movie. No, they are not presenting themselves as an action movie. They are just meant to. These sequences are meant to serve particular points in the plot, and that's about it. The main focus is the kind of message they're delivering to the audience. Now, the plot is about a whistleblower who goes by the name of Daniel Kellner. He's played by Josh O'Connor. Now, he has stolen information from the Vardex Corporation, which is an important wing in the US government. Now, this is basically the information is basically very sensitive. It's about the US government's classified alien documents, basically how they dealt with the aliens in the past and all the various incidents that took place and how they dealt with the technology as well as the aliens themselves. So it is, and it is vast. It's like it spans 78 years. Now he has just one objective. He wants to reveal these files to the public. He feels there's no secrecy required, and the government obviously cannot allow this. And then the cat and mouse chase begins. He is paired with Emily Blunt's character, who is basically a TV investigative reporter. So their unlikely alliance is basically what fuels this chase forward. And I would say it's a very clever pairing. I mean, he wants to reveal this sensitive information, and she has the means, or rather, the access to the media that can broadcast to the entire planet. So I'll say it's a very clever pairing, and it's well thought out. Now, it's important to know that there's no real antagonist in this film. No, nobody is a bad guy here. Everyone had their objectives. However, what makes them seem like the bad guy is to what means, to what ends they'll go in order to meet their objectives. Especially the government side, they use advanced technologies in order to extract information or to lead them to places that they want. So this is very scary, honestly. That is what the real horror of this movie is. And what makes it more terrifying is it's realistically plausible. I mean, humanity is capable of doing this even in the real world. This movie is stacked with cast. I mean, it has Emily Blunt, it has Colin Firth, it has Wyatt Russell, it has Josh O'Connor. I mean, it's very interesting casting. I would say Colin Firth is also one of the interesting leads in this film. He plays a very compelling character. He is calm and composed and professional when he needs to be, and is domineering and assertive when he wants something done. So I like that dichotomy to his character, and I think Colin Firth really brought forth the emotions really well. However, for me, the standout performance and the one that kept me glued to this entire movie is Emily Blunt's character. She plays a very interesting and quite a complex and nuanced character. She plays different versions of the same character. I mean, at one point, she's a confident TV investigator who's full of life. In the next moment, she's like all blunted. She is murmuring a language she does not understand. It's all pops and clicks. And she has new abilities, so new things that she can do that she cannot understand or she cannot fully grasp or comprehend. So I think Emily Blunt has shown the emotions very well at the right time, and she has really sold this character very well. But however, I do feel that Wyatt Russell was very underserved in this film. I mean, he's a good actor, but the script barely gave anything to work with in this film. I mean, his character didn't have any arc. He basically was a husband to the Emily Blunt's TV investigator, but that's about it. He just played a concerned husband. That's about it. He barely was present in this film. The screen time was really low. So I think Wyatt Russell, for the kind of talent he has, he deserved more, rather a more meteor role than what this script gave him. So it was a bit underwhelming and disappointing to seem underserved and really not, he wasn't played to his strengths here. Now, the script and the plot elements in this movie are very reminiscent of the Bourne movies. It gave me a lot of Jason Bourne vibe. I mean, it was a serious political thriller where there's a man on a mission and the government is after him with every means and every technology at the disposal. So that was, it's like a political thriller mixed with sci-fi elements. So that was a very interesting take on the genre, in my opinion. However, that doesn't mean it's necessarily fast-paced. No, it was quite slow-paced, in my opinion. It was slow down certain moments where they kind of took their time with the characters, showed what they're going through, what the next move is, and what they think about the whole thing. I just felt that this could have been a little more dumbed down. They could have shared out certain moments and made this a little more fast-paced, and they made the plot more coherent so that I didn't feel that bored. I found myself kind of like bored and kind of detached from the film in these areas. and with a runtime which is quite heavy, like it's around 2 hours 25 minutes, it made things a little more worse, you know. So I just wish the movie was a little more faster paced. In that way, it could have really made things more interesting and definitely more easier to keep up with. Now, the aliens themselves do not make much appearance in this film. I mean, there are certain areas where they do appear. We get to see the specimens. However, I must say, where they do appear, the CGI on them is just amazing. They look so organic. They feel real. I mean, I'm not sure if they use practical props in this film, but the CGI used in this film was just great. But the real pull in this film, the real message that this film wants to give to the world is the kind of themes they're exploring, the themes that are very much rooted in the real world and are very much plausible. For instance, how would religion react to a supreme power when they already believe in another supreme power, that is God? And how are humans ready? Are they ready for this kind of revelation? How will they handle that aliens are real? And also, when who are the bad guys really? Is it the aliens, like how we are typically shown in the media, or is it the humans? The humans are the real bad guys. I mean, they are the ones who exploit them. In fact, the aliens are shown to be very benevolent creatures in this. They care about the humans. They make sure that they don't scare us with their presence. So it was quite a different and quite a refreshing take on the genre, in my opinion. So Spielberg is in a very familiar territory here. He's done all this before. However, has taken a very different approach, and this whether this approach works for you or not, it completely depends on what kind of an alien fan are you. I mean, what kind of sci-fi movies do you like? If you are one of those people who likes Battle in Los Angeles or Alien or Mars Attacks, then this movie is not going to be a it's not going to appeal to you basically. However, if you are someone who likes Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or you like Arrival or Science, then this movie might be up your alley, and I would highly recommend you do check it out. Now, the ending, however, is surprisingly ambiguous. He took a very Christopher Nolan approach to this movie. I mean, we don't know what message was delivered. We don't know what was communicated. Basically, the movie has no definitive end. And I think this was done on purpose in order to keep the audience guessing beyond the theater screens. Or maybe it is leaving things open for a plausible sequel where we will see the events unfold further and we'll see where our characters have to go. Overall, I found this very interesting and a surprise move from Spielberg, because usually his movies have a definitive end. You know, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's the end. It's very rare that he goes for a not like an indefinite conclusion, or rather an ambiguity such as this. Overall, guys, objectively, it's a good movie. I can in no way say this is a bad movie. It's well directed. It is a different take on the genre. However, it did not work out for me because it is not my thing. I prefer some little more excitement, little more action-oriented movies. I mean, if they had more action and they had a plot like this, it would have been a perfect movie, in my opinion. But that unfortunately did not happen. There was that balance does not exist. I feel Spielberg, even though he's in his familiar genre, this movie lacked the excitement, the real thrill, the real edge of the seat moments that I really wanted from him. His previous movies gave me that, but this movie unfortunately didn't. But however, that being said, will I not recommend this movie to you? No, I would highly recommend this movie to you. Do check it out in the theaters if possible. It's made for the theaters. It has some interesting visuals, and it does live up to this title of Disclosure Day. It really does. But of course, whether you like it or not, it completely depends on what kind of a fan you are. Then please let me know what you think in the comments below, and do consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It will mean a lot to me. And let's embrace cinema together. And until my next video, bye for now.